My full name is Anne Colleen Cameron.
Anne Colleen Cameron. Okay, so you go by Colleen though.
That's correct.
Right. When is your birthday?
December 3rd, 1952.
December 3rd. And your parents' names?
Raymond Joseph Cameron and Zita O'Hearn Cameron. Taught at the Cody for 10, 12 years. My mother worked with Dr. Cody and helped him write his book, Masters of Their Own Destiny. Okay. So she worked in the Antigonish movement, as did my father a bit, but mostly my mother. And then she continued to work with Extension and became the editor of the Maritime Cooperator. So did not work at the Cody Institute, but worked for Dr. Cody.
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have 2 brothers and a sister.
2 brothers and a sister. What are their names?
Mary Patricia and Bill and Dan.
And where do you fit
I'm
in?
the youngest.
You're the youngest.
There's 4 of us in 5 years. So.
Oh, okay.
Born in Antigonish, and I grew up in Antigonish.
What was it like growing up here?
Well, my memories are good memories of growing up here. I grew up on Brooklyn Street, where I can still live. We had lots of space to play in. That was before the seniors' apartments were built, the Orchard Terrace Villa and J.J. Carroll and those places were built. So that was all wide open fields. There was a bit of an apple orchard there. There was a hill for Stewart's Hill for coasting, and so we had fun, and there was lots of kids on the street. So all along the street there was families with 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12 kids. So it was no problem getting a team together and just being out. And we just always played outside because early on we didn't have televisions, and of course there was no computers. So a lot of the green space that was available when I grew up is long gone. It's all been for fun. That's what I did. We were outside playing a lot. I was in the pipe band, the Antigonish Legion pipe band, for 11 years, so I did that. And I did art lessons with Mary McGilvery and different things like that. But mostly is out hanging around with the kids playing.
Yeah.
I did for a year, and then I did my nursing at St. Martha's School of Nursing. And I worked, graduated in 74, and then in 1984 I went to Dalhousie for 3 years to get my degree in nursing. And then I came back from working overseas, and I did my master's in adult education from Senevex University, graduating in 94.
What person has had the most positive influence on your life, and what did they do to give you that influence?
Well, I guess it'd be toss-up between my mother and my father. Particularly my mother. She was unusual in her time. She got married a bit later in her life when she was 32, and this would have been in 1940. I'm not sure the date, 1942 or something like that. Yes, because she was born in 1910, so she got married in 1942. She was 32 years old. She had a university degree and a master's degree before that, and wrote this book with Dr. Cody. Had done a lot of things, and then continued even when she was at home having kids, continued to write. She was a journalist with the Chronicle Herald and wrote for the Casket and did the editorials and, as I mentioned before, editor of the Maritime Cooperator. So she was very much a writer and critical thinker in that way. So, in a time when that didn't happen a lot. So, she would be an inspiration that way. And my father, of course, was always an inspiration. He was trying new things. He was the first person to get involved in blueberries in this area. And just about everybody involved in blueberries, it was the result of indirectly or directly related to my father getting in there. And my father was a very, very generous, kind man, always helping people out. So both of them had a big influence in my life.
Do you have a favorite quote or any words of wisdom that you like to like keep in mind or kind of share with others or anything like that?
Oh my goodness, that's a difficult one. There's so many beautiful quotes out there, you know, be the change you want to see in the world, or probably the one is love your neighbor as you love yourself. Being kind to other people and treating people as you want to be treated, I think would be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what are the biggest problems facing our world today, and how do you think we can work to change them?
I'd say the biggest problem is greed. It seems to be prevalent. I think Donald Trump said it's good to be greedy and everybody should be greedy. But that goes against, greed means taking away from other people. And in our world today, we have huge inequality and a whole lot of social injustice. So I think that needs to change. It's causing so many problems around the world, here as well as internationally. The number of wars that are going on today is phenomenal. A lot more civilians are being killed than ever. Like during the First and Second World War, it was the soldiers mostly. Today, it's mostly, civilians. The number of refugees is unbelievably high. People living in these camps for 10, 20 years with no hope. And the rich are getting very, very rich. The poor are getting very poor, and the middle class is being squeezed out. So that's a direct result of greed.